Hey, welcome to Content Cube, Episode 8. I'm Brian Woods.
I'm Jake Mosier.
I'm Zach Hohenstein.
A few episodes ago, I did say Episode 8 would be dog shit. I'm sticking to my guns on that one. This is the Brian Woods promise. This will not be a hot one, guys. Not a lot's been going on this week. Zach's pretty sick.
Very sick, Brian.
What happened, bud?
My immune system and I have just a unique relationship. My immune system, it doesn't really deflect like the common cold very well. So that'll hit me about once every other month throughout the year.
You're blaming it on your immune system, yet you've only eaten applesauce in the last 4 days and wonder why you...
I had a Wendy's Frosty last night, Jake. A large at that.
So many nutrients.
I'm just trying to look out for me, okay?
Is the diet going okay?
The diet
I
was
put it in
going great
quotes.
at first.
I think you're killing yourself.
The diet was going great at first, but these days past couple days I've started to falter a bit as my body has descended into just agony.
Have you lost any weight?
I don't know because I do not own a scale, Brian.
Isn't that like a rule of diet? It's like the first day or two goes really well, and then you have to make it past. Then it gets hard. You got to make it first, like the first week.
Zach, the issue with your diet is that you aren't eating enough, and your body's like holding on to all the calories and stuff it can. It's like holding the weight.
I just don't think me eating applesauce has anything to do with my nose being stuffed up, though. I think they're just purely coincidental.
I don't think it's the applesauce thing. It's the lack of other things that you're eating.
Yeah. I don't know how this happened, because on the Endgame podcast, I brought him some OJ. This should have protected him for the month.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to blame it on the applesauce, but it's starting to get pretty rough.
Hot puns from Zach.
That was pretty good. Okay.
And that's it. That's our show. Thanks for tuning in.
Not a ton going on this week at all, really. We're going so deep as to bring in video games.
We're going so fast.
Gotta go fast. Mr. Sonic's big movie.
Big transition.
That honestly could be a better name for this movie. Mr. Sonic's big new Sonic movie.
People would look at it, it's like, oh, it's like a Lego movie thing. Like they're doing a bit with that.
Yeah.
So when that first poster came out,
with the legs.
And everyone freaked out about the legs, I'm like, this is horrifying. And then...
So I'll be honest, the poster didn't alarm me as much as it did other people. It's when we got the leaked character art that scared me.
No, like when the character art leaked and he was like sitting back on like the convertible with the other dude with Cyclops, I'm like, this isn't so bad. And then like in this trailer, he opens his mouth and you see his like fucking trophies, all the baby teeth he stole. I'm like, holy shit!
Did anyone see the thing on Twitter? IGN put teeth on a bunch of other video game characters, and it's terrifying.
Why has he got human teeth?
Why does he have everything on his body? Like all of it's wrong. The proportions are off. The eyes are off.
I saw someone say it looks like it looks like they drew a child and then tried to draw Sonic over the child. It kind of like his colors and everything reminds me of when I was making the thumbnail for the last episode and I was just clicking fill image like with the paint can over and over on your faces. Like it's just like this matte like fucking weird color they got.
So I have a feeling that the post-credit sequence, a bunny's gonna hop out and is officially a spiritual successor to Hop, the movie starring James Marsden, and a CGI bunny. Same exact movie, same exact concept, both can be real shitty.
The Hop cinematic universe?
Yeah.
I mean, I find it interesting. I mean, you guys have both used words like, I wasn't worried until this, or this is when I got alarmed.
Yeah.
Or that freaked me out. Was there ever a time where you guys thought this was going to be good?
No, never
I mean,
good.
when they said there's going to be a Sonic movie, my first instinct was, wow, that's going to fucking suck.
Right.
My first instinct was, like, this can be average.
I thought it was going to be like Wreck-It Ralph. I thought it was all CG. And then that poster comes out, I'm like, oh, they're going for, like, human body.
Also,
and then you see him again, and I'm like, the leaked poster of him on the car, it didn't look terrible. Because his mouth is closed. He's not standing up. He's not like trying to size me up, and like I wasn't freaked out. My fight or flight response did not kick in.
I mean, look at Detective Pikachu. That movie actually looks good.
Yeah.
So there was.
How sad to be working on this movie and have Detective Pikachu announced.
There's a tweet that
I'll be doing
said
it.
Detective Pikachu is the MCU, Sonic Hedgehog is the DCEU, and then someone quote retweeted and said, no, Sonic is the Dark Universe.
Like, what did you think of his weird fucking baby mouth?
Now, okay. It did seem a little off-putting, to say the least.
Incredible.
Not a big fan of his real. I guess they were trying to make him look more realistic, but in the end, why are you trying to make a talking blue hedgehog that runs fast, wears sneakers, realistic in the first place? Because that's just you're flawed from the get-go with that.
Yeah.
Just make him look like he does in the game, and people wouldn't be pissed about it.
Everyone's doing these mock-ups, oh guys, I made it better, and it's yeah, you did. You did make it. All these leaked images, they all freaked me out, and then I stopped getting freaked out, and then he opened his mouth, and he has this Charlie Kirk, his teeth fold out.
Right.
It really upset me on this deep level.
You know what? Actually, the only way they could get me to the theater.
What?
Just to see Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik.
He looks like
Robotnik
the
or whatever
only
it is.
semi-redeeming part.
I don't know.
I love over-the-top Jim Carrey.
I don't think Okay, the first time I saw this trailer, I got this was right after I saw Endgame. So when you see Jim Carrey look totally different and this, he looks like it's the fucking post-apocalypse. I'm like, how's this movie end?
And that's the thing is normally when you'd see a trailer that's bad, you'd dive in the plot part of this looks bad, but this is all design choices that most people are in. I mean, it also doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good.
I mean, there's no... I don't know how you make a good Sonic movie. I mean, video game adaptations are famously terrible.
It should be a fully animated movie.
It should have been fully...
and that's what would make it good.
In one of before we really saw all his body and all I could see were his weird calves, I remember in an interview, the designer was Sega wasn't super on board with our idea, but we convinced them.
Yeah, the dude who created Sonic came out and said this is what he should have looked like.
What?
And yeah,
Okay.
the dude, not the person in the movie.
Okay.
And then I also saw, dang it, what was I gonna say? I saw something about the person who created him was we wanted him to look like an Olympic runner because he can run so fast. So that was their. I mean, now it makes more sense. That's why he looks like he could beat up anyone.
He's got human calves.
He has a lot of things.
There was an image, there was a leaked poster of him on the Golden Gate Bridge. I don't know if it was leaked, but it was just a first-person view, and you could see his calves.
Oh yeah, that I think is an official poster. I looked up on my phone what Garfield CGI looked like because I wasn't great either. I look back now and I'm also didn't really look like Garfield. They really nailed the Pikachu thing. I'll give it to them.
Let me take you guys back to a simpler time.
Yeah.
On the topic of video game adaptations and how their interpretations are not what you'd want to be.
Yeah.
So let me take you back to when I was young and Blockbuster Video was still prevalent. Okay. Here I am wandering down the aisles. I find myself a Super Mario Brothers.
Fuck yeah.
The 1993 film.
Okay, I was afraid you were going to go for the TV show and it wasn't going to be bad enough.
Oh, no. It's starring Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo. I don't know how to say his name.
I knew his name up until you said that, and now I'm fucked.
Academy Award winner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, he's actually gone on to have a good enough career.
Dude,
Dennis Hopper's the bad guy. He was pretty big before he died, too. Now, the movie... It's not what... I don't know what you would want from a Mario movie, how to make that work, but this is not it. This is not it.
This, Chief?
They go to the Mushroom Kingdom. They are literally plumbers, so that's... Yeah. For the first time in Mario history, he is a plumber. Which...
They confirmed it.
They confirmed.
Peach has been taking big shits. They had to go to the Mushroom Kingdom.
Okay.
Dude, I don't even think Peach was in the movie. Oh, yeah. Daisy was in the movie.
Not Peach?
Nope, not Peach. It was Luigi had a love interest, not Mario.
Mario is a perfect asexual being.
So Koopa Troopa is the bad guy.
Bowser.
No, not Bowser. Bowser.
They were saving him for the third one. He was the Thanos of the Super Mario Brothers.
He was
universe.
hinted at but never confirmed, Brian.
Yeah, in the movie you saw his paws. I don't know what he has.
Yeah, so King Koopa Troopa does not resemble anything from the guy who throws the hammers.
May I see a picture?
Oh, absolutely.
I will describe it to the audience.
All right.
no,
I've
all
never
right.
seen this before too, so.
Oh, you've never
It goes
seen
going
it?
by
I've
name
seen. I
King
remember
and
watching
Koopa.
like a little bit of it when I was younger, but I don't remember. I remember what they look like, the Mario Brothers.
There's like the behind the scenes stuff for this.
Here's a good
film,
one.
and
Holy
That
hell!
sounds-
So he does have a tongue that is like a lizard, and his head
That's-
looks like spikes, but it is
was
just
this
a man
was
face.
this PG? Because
Yeah.
that's terrifying.
Oh, dude, this is probably before they had like the difference between G and P and
Okay.
R.
It's
you know what I mean?
as bad as movies get.
Like,
And it Toad, the mushroom guy, he's just a hippie with a guitar.
And-
And he gets killed off, if I remember
and
correctly.
the
I'm pretty sure he
Goombas-
dies.
Yoshi's just a straight up dinosaur. Did you know?
Yes,
That? Like
he is.
Yoshi's like just a raptor.
Like, he
That's
is a
fucking-
raptor.
It's really funny.
But
Like not stylized in any way, Jake. It's literally like a
like a
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic
I remember
Yeah.
like the big fan service moment of the movie that I remember being like, wow, I love it. Was they get one of those bombs that walk and they wind it up and they like let it go under like this big bridge at the end and they play the classic Mario music. And I just remember being like, wow, this is what I wanted. Now, in hindsight, the movie is very bad.
is there any?
That 30-second sequence does not redeem the other hour and a half. So I guess I can't really picture a way to adapt these type of arcade type games. Like the only movies that could have, or only video games that could have like good adaptations are like if you adapted like an Uncharted, which is getting a movie adaptation with Tom Holland.
They're always getting adaptations.
See, the thing is,
For, like, God of War,
I
Last of Us.
disagree. I mean, I think if you try to make them live action, it's much more difficult, and they normally don't turn
way
out
funnier,
well.
though.
I think Detective Pikachu might be the first one, but like you look at Wreck-It Ralph, obviously those are original characters, but if you took the characters from if it was purely animated, I think you could make something good.
See, here's the difference with Detective Pikachu to movies like Sonic and the Mario Brothers and thing. Yeah, there are a lot of Pokemon games, but I'm pretty confident that didn't it start with the cards? And then the
No.
show?
Started with the,
I think it started with the game.
Really?
yeah, cards are always like the final step. I think.
Okay, well, they had the show. They already,
Yeah,
had
very
all
well
this.
established lore.
It's a lot of multimedia in this.
Now,
Sonic
Franchise.
has multimedia. It
Zach-
has a
Zach,
show. I
don't
watched
mean-
when I was younger.
Zach, I don't mean to shock you, but Sonic arguably
Yeah.
has more lore and media than
How?
Pokemon. People
Only
fucking
seen
love
games.
this shit, dude. No, there's a
They have
comic series,
TV show I watched when I was
what
younger.
in the
lot,
world?
dude. They still make video games.
I had the TV show on
going
my
right
Game
now.
Boy.
Dude, I even watched the Pokemon show. You telling me there was a Sonic show the whole time?
Yeah, dude. No, like there's been a lot of Sonic X. There's been a lot of Sonic shows. Zach, Sonic is huge, and it's like a group of people that has to be out there because they keep making these terrible fucking video games, but they love this shit, Zach.
You know what Sonic game was just the absolute best.
Can I guess?
I mean, guess
Is
which
it-
one
is
I
it-
would have played.
Is it Sonic Advance too?
This is Mario and Sonic at the Summer Olympic Games.
Now that one
right?
doesn't count.
Did
We
they add-
all played that
Was
one.
it the Tokyo one, the London one, or
Yeah.
the
I think it
Beijing?
was Beijing, I
Okay.
believe. It was for the original, like the first Wii, not the Wii U, which no one even knew it came out till a year later.
Quick aside, I remember IGN was once like, yeah, we're not going to review the Mario and Sonic Olympic game, and people were like, how fucking dare you? People were so mad. It's like, you guys are going to buy it. Like, it has Sonic in it. It doesn't matter what we say about
Yeah,
it.
they're
People
not
were
wrong.
so fucking mad.
I mean, I remember it being just loads of fun.
This was the most recent one, Zach. They made
Oh.
several of those.
Okay,
Did you know that?
I remember the original. Did
The
not
original's
get the
great.
winter one or any subsequent ones because I
I
did
was
not
really
own
a
Wii.
god at the hammer throw.
I
And I
don't
also
rem-
did not care.
I don't remember. I was over spring break. I was at my friend's house, and for some reason they only had a Wii remote, not a nunchuck. So we were limited. The only games we could play on Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games were the ones where you needed one remote. So we played trampoline and shooting for an hour, and that was it. Fantastic
Simpler
game.
times.
I'm surprised you didn't
Simpler
leave after
times.
15 minutes.
Sonic fans have a rough life. They've
really-
gotten 2 good games in the last decade, probably.
Yeah.
Mania and Generations is the one people like.
Well,
Some people like Colors.
Here's another thing that might rock your world, Jake, is that I was watching like a Sonic live stream that like they put on. It was like where they announced the most recent. It was where they announced Sonic Mania and that other
Fire and Ice, Boom, Sonic Boom.
Sonic Mania and like what's the most recent one?
I think it's Fire and
Heroes?
Ice.
No, it's the one where you can make your own character. It doesn't matter. But the thing that shocked me is like we got Sonic Mania and then no, it's like we have like the new Sonic. let's just call it Sonic Revolution or whatever.
Sonic Forces.
Sonic Forces, like we got Sonic Forces, and for the old school fans, we got Sonic Mania. That seemed to be implying that there were two fan bases. There are Sonic fans that don't like the old ones, but they like the new ones.
I can tell you who that is. Those are kids, because I don't want to say work with kids. I don't work with them. They don't have a job. I look over them.
These fucking leeches.
Yeah. But the kid, every single day, draw me Sonic! Draw me Sonic! He loves Sonic to death, so...
Do you draw him Sonic?
No, I can't draw. If I drew him
shit.
Sonic, I don't know what it would look like.
No, I'm
like
not going to draw
Would
you
it look
Sonic.
better or worse than
Go
the
back in
current
your cage.
iteration?
Than the CGI Sonic. It might look better. I don't know. I can't wait, because when's the movie come out? Is it later in the year?
Probably 2019. Yeah.
I'll have to ask him over Christmas break what he thought of the movie.
If it
see
comes
he likes
out
it.
while we're in Colombia, we are seeing it and doing an episode on it.
I would expect nothing less.
I swear this.
I think we've talked
For the
enough about
culture.
Sonic.
Yeah, let's move on to Psyonix, the Rocket League developer, has been bought by Epic. Everyone was mad. Epic, you got to stop buying exclusives.
So
Well,
I was talking to my brother about this yesterday. He's like that. I don't know what he said. It wasn't necessarily positive. He was like, "Oh, that sucks." I was like, "You got like, mostly it really doesn't. Like, it's kind of how the games industry has always worked. We just haven't had Sony or Microsoft buy in a very, and not even Psyonix is that important. Like Microsoft just bought all those studios.
Yeah.
The next Ninja Theory game that comes out won't be on PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's just what happens. And Rocket League will stay on these systems, continue to be updated on these systems. I doubt Psyonix is making a game like this again.
yeah,
So-
I mean, like, when Rocket League 2 comes out, I don't think it's going to come to Steam. But, like, I don't get it, man. People are so fucking mad. I'm just like, you can just download the
Yeah.
Epic launcher for free. You don't even need to buy another machine.
And I get, yeah, exactly. And I mean, like, they even have a less of reason to be angry than console gamers because they can still play it. You just have to open up a different thing.
Yeah.
But I get, like, apparently the Epic Store sucks.
It's not as good as Steam, but like,
But they have to make money to improve it. So
yeah,
let them do their
Epic
thing.
Epic has money, but that's just kind of a thing that happened.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of.
It's interesting to see
Yeah.
if Epic continues to buy studios.
I'm sure they'll buy it.
Steam has, speaking of things Steam did this week, or I guess Valve owns Steam, they announced their $1,000 VR system. Did you
Yeah.
hear about this? And it has, quote, it's coming with one flagship title.
Half-Life 3, baby. This is it.
Do you think they're going to do...
Fuck no.
I don't think Half-Life 3, but like a small Portal game, you think
Portal?
it'll be...
Yeah, Portal. Maybe.
That's what's going to... Like, I was thinking, I was like, that makes sense.
Well, I think it's going to be something that shows off like their knuckle controllers. Because these
Okay.
controllers.
I heard they're super
can
cool.
do fingers.
Yeah. That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
Knuckles. You got me thinking of Sonic again.
Back to Sonic.
Post-credit scene,
Chaos
Knuckles comes.
control.
See, you guys think the post-Sonic scene is going to be Tails or Knuckles. Nah, it's going to be that big, fluffy blue dude. What's
gonna
his
be
name?
Big the Cat.
Big the Cat.
Dude, I was a
Loves
big... You know
fishing.
who my favorite Sonic character
Who?
was?
The crocodile.
Back when I was a moody little
Shadow.
10-year-old?
The
Shadow,
Shadow.
for sure.
He
Did
had
you
a
play
gun.
the PS2 game with the gun?
I played the GameCube game with the gun.
I played
I
the
don't think
PS2
so.
one.
I remember he was like an item in Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
Yeah.
And he would come down and he would just
He would
jump in the
slow
middle
time
and he
for
would
some
say
reason.
Chaos Control.
For how much
Slow
stuff...
everyone down. I thought it was the coolest thing.
For how much stuff we got in that game, Sonic should have just had alternate skins for Tails, Shadow, Knuckles.
Well, yeah.
Sonic is the worst character in Super Smash Brothers that you could play as.
I don't
He
know.
is hard to control with how
Worst,
fast he
worst
is.
is a stretch.
I mean, he is up there. With prominent, like, famous characters, he is up there. I mean, Jigglypuff aside, I mean, he is
Jigglypuff's
brutal
godlike.
to play as.
For good
Sonic's
measure.
really fast.
Okay, we don't need to talk about Ultimate. I could talk about that for a while. Gaming news. Oh, I thought you were gonna pick up the transition.
Was it Borderlands 3? Yeah, I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Yeah.
So, did you watch the gameplay thing?
I didn't watch last time Gearbox had an event. I sat down and watched the whole thing, and it was a complete waste of my time because it was broken.
That was.
So I was like, I'm not gonna do that. So I got out of class and caught the last like 8 minutes of like the 12-minute video. It looks awesome. It looks visually better than I thought it was going to. I didn't realize they kind of have like superpowers. The characters, you like upgrade things and they have superpowers. I thought it was just guns. And the fact that you go to a bunch of different worlds, it's like Destiny, but not online and more
Yeah.
fun. So
Yeah, I didn't watch. I spent probably like over 100 hours in Borderlands 2 with my friends. Like,
are you burnt out?
I don't know.
You don't
like,
know.
For
You'll
some
find
reason,
out.
I didn't watch it. I'm just like, I don't know if I care. Like,
So have you not watched any of the gameplay?
I watched like a GIF of it. I'm like, oh, it looks like Borderlands. Like,
Yeah, it's a prettier.
But yeah, you said
Borderlands.
this went well, but for me, this is all shadowed by a tweet from Game Informer, who published a tweet that claimed, despite Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford's comment about no microtransactions in Borderlands 3 during today's live stream, we've been told cosmetic items are still purchasable. And that's like, that's a true thing. And then Randy responded on Twitter. Did you see this?
No, I didn't see.
Oh,
his
this is
response.
great. Zach, you might like this.
All right.
Come on, guys. This is the CEO of the company. Come on, guys. Shitty clickbait headline. Literally seconds before I said that, I made it very clear we're going to do more cosmetic stuff like we did in Borderlands 2. You know I was talking about premium currency, loot boxes kind of stuff, not being in our game. And then he responded to that tweet, why you guys would fuck me on this is beyond me. Thanks a lot.
Hey,
You love to see it.
You fucked Randy for the last time.
okay, for how much shit Randy gets, I love a CEO of a decently large company. He's just like, come on, fucking media, stop shitting on me.
That's just classic Randy.
I don't know. I'm kind of a Game Informer on this one. Randy's like under investigation for fraud and shit. Microtrans, you can.
Obviously, he doesn't understand what it means.
Yeah.
Like I agree. When you hear microtransactions, immediately my mind does jump to loot boxes and like you can't get anything unless you're paying for it. I get what he is saying. Like, yeah, there's no of those bad ones. You can buy really cool costumes if you want them quicker,
But when you're like no microtransactions, and there are. But I just love the tweet. Like the first one's like whatever. These like why you guys would fuck me on this is beyond.
I love
me.
that.
Thanks a lot.
Why you would report the truth, I don't know.
Randy's a guy. I wonder how he's doing.
I wonder how long he'll stay. Because I feel like we're just one thing away from him, like, something horrible being revealed about him.
We kind of had that.
Yeah, I know, the
but-
USB porn stick.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this?
I would love to hear about it.
He left a USB stick full of, like, company secrets,
And
but also porn at a medieval times.
The company was these are separate things, or the company was doing porn secretly?
No.
The
These are
CEO
separate things that he kept on the same USB
his
stick.
own USB stick.
Wow.
And he on a podcast, he got in front
the
of...
phrase is "Don't shit where you eat," Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he
Instead, he masturbated where he worked.
basically,
It's
like,
even worse.
an ex-business partner was suing him for a bunch of other stuff, and he said it was child porn. That's unsubstantiated.
Oh my goodness.
This is, I believe Randy described it as barely legal 18. But then on a podcast,
hate to see it.
on a magician podcast, he was trying to explain
He
himself.
loves magic.
No, on a magician he's a huge fucking magician.
On a magician podcast.
Yeah, no, on a magic podcast.
We should make this a magician podcast.
I'd love to have someone on.
I love a podcast where everything that they do is all visual. I'd love a magician's podcast.
No, but basically on the podcast, he was saying this wasn't like a sexual thing for him. He also, I believe he's like part of a magic magazine, and he wanted her on it because the way she faked the orgasm was so good. He thought to himself, quote, this isn't a adult actress or what, I may be misquoting. This is not, I don't know what he said. This is not an adult actress, but he did say this. This is a fucking magician. And that's why he saved the porn. He wasn't jerking off, Zach, I know what you're thinking. He was not jerking off to the porn.
He doesn't shit where he eats. He does magic.
This was business. He's like, this is magic.
The tricks of the trade.
I feel
fake
like
orgasm.
Brian,
was
you have
so
been
good.
bamboozled.
I believe 100%.
Randy motherfucking Pitchford. Okay.
And then he talked.
I'm a big believer in the benefit of the doubt, but in this scenario, I feel like it's pretty safe to assume what his intentions were.
Okay, I'll give him this. He spent 30 minutes at the reveal event doing a magic trick. He does really love
Imagine
magic.
having to learn magic to cover up, to back up your alibi on why
He
you have
was on a
porn.
magician's podcast. I think he really does like it.
He
The
fucking
length
loves magic.
you will go.
Okay, is this when we cut Brian off?
Yes.
Speaking of magic,
Ooh, hey guys,
and
no, hold on.
fantasies.
Hey guys.
Oh, you ruined my awesome
I
transition.
know, but every time you start talking about something, you immediately spoil it. This has been a proven fact.
Oh, true.
Guys, Game of Thrones spoilers, season
8.
I was going to say 9. Episode 3.
3.
spoilers
The Long Night.
coming in hot, and possibly spoilers for everything that came before it.
Definitely
Probably.
spoilers.
Yeah,
Let me
okay.
let me
Let me
set
do my
the scene.
transition again.
Oh yeah, do your transition, and then I want to set the scene.
Speaking of magic and fantasies, Game of Thrones, Jake.
Okay, audience, let's set the scene. Close your eyes and keep them closed while we talk about it. This is how much you could see in the episode. I wasn't as angry as the internet was. I get you make it dark. You get it. You make it dark so you can lessen the budget.
What a big surprise that The Long Night was a dark episode, Brian.
Side note, so I don't forget to talk about it. My favorite thing was the cinematographer of the episode came out and said, "I made it. I know it wasn't too dark," which has spawned a great meme of everyone saying, "I wrote my essay. I know it was great," or "I did this," and like. I get what he's saying. Like, we all looked at it as a team. We saw it on our nice TVs without HBO shitty streaming. Like, you can see it, but it just came across everyone's headline as cinematographer says, "I made it. I promise you can see."
It's a beautiful piece of art. Everyone's out here, these heathens out here complaining, and here I am on my 4K giant TV in my dorm watching this majesty unfold.
Could you see it?
Most of it.
I could see enough, but there are definitely things where I'm like, "Who?"
It never really. At points I was like, okay, what's going on? But there was never a point where I'm like, this is pissing me off. Like it pissed off other people.
I haven't actually talked to you about it. Zach, give me your short take.
Short take. All right. Probably the most impressive thing to ever be portrayed on a television show ever. And a lot of great moments and sequences. So overall, big fan. Couple small complaints.
Oh, wow.
I mean, if we want to jump into the small complaints now.
I say, oh, wow, because I thought you were going to have more complaints than small ones.
I say small because it's really only like two.
Hit me with them.
Okay, so the term plot armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number one issue
There
with
is
the
definitely
episode.
some characters that looked for a good 20 minutes like they were being swarmed, like by themselves.
The show's favorite technique is swarmed by 20 zombies. Definitely should die, cut away. They cut away the second.
Oh, but let's cut back. And they're still being swarmed by 20 zombies, and they're fighting them off. It's like, all right, well, if you want these characters to live, then just don't show them getting swarmed.
Don't put them in that situation.
There's one character, Samuel Tarley, who's rolling around on the ground, like weapon unarmed, with like 5 zombies on top of him, and he's rolling around for 20 minutes.
Cut away.
Yeah, it's baffling editing, just baffling in that regard. And then the other complaint is less of a complaint and more of just a tiny disappointment.
That's what I would.
Kind of thought Jon Snow would be the hero of the day, and it's not like oh, it's got to be the male protagonist who's got to get the dub. That's been his arc for the show. Like, he's been the one the whole time. Like, the Night King is coming. He's like, this is the threat, and everyone's like, oh, okay. And like, he was like the prophecy, like the prince who was promised. There's a prophecy in the show, Brian. Like, the prince who was promised would bring the dawn.
Now been deemed irrelevant.
Yeah, it's like the Lord of Light is real in every other scenario. Like, this guy's performed miracles and stuff, but that prophecy, I guess that was bullshit. So that's kind of frustrating.
Were those your two biggest complaints?
Yeah, and just Arya. I mean, I guess all the White Walkers were highly competent soldiers until the very end, when they became the least competent to ever walk the earth.
So, yeah.
It's absolutely baffling that this girl got past like 40 zombies and White Walkers to sneak up on their king in the middle of the open and like kill him. Brian.
Is she the magic one?
She is not magic. No, she's got assassin training.
Okay.
But they didn't even allude to her having like used her faceless men training in that scene.
I'll keep the negative train going. I walked out of the episode, like finished it. I watched it with like a group of 10 people, so it was really fun. Everyone was cheering in the big moments. It was a good time. But like, I walked out of it a bit disappointed. Like, every day that passes, it just becomes more and more disappointed the more I think about it. Like, they had built literally the first scene you see in the whole show of Game of Thrones is about the White Walkers. And it ends, which I liked. I didn't like the way it ended, but I didn't mind that it was Arya because, one, I love Arya. Arya's my favorite character.
Yeah, I love Arya.
She's my favorite character on the show. It was a great cheering moment. I disagree with less of the, like... it is a little weird that she snuck around them, but also the only people who really pay attention to what's going on around them is the White Walkers, not all the zombies. And she could have just walked around the outside wall, jumped in the tree, whatever. I don't really care about that. But what disappointed me the most was the plot armor. This show has been known for killing off characters. I don't need you to kill off characters, but this battle had 0 stakes because no one really important died.
Is the dog alive?
Okay, put it this way. Yeah, Ghost the dog, is that what you said?
I remember you guys talked about a dog.
Yeah, I mean, Ghost gets one shot and he's running into battle, and then you never see him again.
I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Also should have died though. Him and another dude run out, and so it's the
Dothraki.
The Dothraki get all their swords lit on fire. Awesome moment.
Yeah,
they
really
all
cool.
they all for some reason, dumb tactic, run out to the White Walkers that you can't, or run out to the zombies and White Walkers that you can't see. Then you slowly, it's beautiful. You see them get slowly sniffed out, you see the fire starting going away. For some reason, the only main character and the wolf just walk back from that group.
Wait, why are the lights going out?
Because they're getting killed. So they're fighting.
Their swords are on fire, and you see them run into the darkness, knowing the army's out there, and all you see is the flames of the swords, and one by one you see them become extinguished, and the screaming starts to die down, and then 5 of them ride back. One of which is the main character, or not the main character,
the most
only
important one.
notable character that went out there.
Okay, quick aside, because that reminded me of something that bothers me in video games and John Wick 2, the sequel. The bad guys will have flashlights on their gun, but when they die, the flashlight goes out for some reason to signify that they're dead. And I don't know why that would happen.
John Wick probably shoots the flashlight. I don't know.
Spoiler alert, Jake. John Wick kills some bad guys.
I've heard.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about
that. So then, my
that.
biggest complaint is then how what happens in the episode ties into the whole show. We've been building to this since episode 1, and he died. The whole conflict was resolved in one episode. And I get, if you look at past seasons, that's usually how it works. A big battle resolves the issue. But we have built up this threat for so long. We've built this up to be the scariest thing, the thing that might end the kingdom.
And to its credit, this was if Game of Thrones has ever been scary, this is the episode when it's scary.
You see every single character, even the character who has been built as the person who has no fear, everyone looks terrified. It's fantastic.
There's a scene where Arya is in the library with the zombies walking around, and she's
full-on
sneaking
horror.
between bookshelves. It's pretty tense.
Yeah, the whole episode was tense, but they end it and they just killed the White Walker and they all die and the conflict's over. And multiple things they could have done to fix it. I get that it's a budget issue, which is why you cut the season down. Again, should have been 10 episodes.
Do you think it's a budget issue?
Yes. That's why last season, this season been shorter. This episode cost $45 million, something insane amount of money. So it's a chunk of change for a TV show. Yeah. But what they should have done is an hour and a half long. They should have cut it down to 60 minutes, had the end of the episode end with them, they are losing, in a big character death. Next episode, continue the battle for another hour, then have them win. I would have at least felt like something mattered, but in a matter of one episode, it looks like they're about to lose. No one important dies. They killed, no stakes. They did it. Everything basically went well.
Now, this is where Jake and I disagree with Jake a bit. I feel like important people die, but they're people that you expected to die. And what the show used to do is, shows kill off important people. Sometimes a lot of shows do. It's when Game of Thrones did it, it's not the ones you would expect.
Game of Thrones.
The big people that died this episode are the people going into the episode. Okay, this character who's been here since season 1 is probably going to die today. And it was pretty there were cool moments for those two big characters. We've already said spoilers, so Theon and Jorah are the two biggest characters that die. But going into the episode, I think just about everyone figured those two would die.
But
the show didn't really surprise me with who they killed off.
Why I say not big deaths is not... yes, they've been important characters, but what Game of Thrones does well is it kills characters off. They don't care where they are in their arc. Who cares if their arc ends short? They die, because that's how life works. You don't necessarily get to do what you need to do. Literally, the two characters that died are the people who completed their arc. He died defending someone, and both characters died defending their person. And that goes totally against what Game of Thrones is, that in these battles, people die because that's what happens in battles. You can't defend yourself, you lose. But the only people who died were the people who were done. No more plot lines left. Where you can kill them off, it doesn't really matter.
Why do you think they're doing this?
Because
they're playing into the TV. As the popularity increased, they're playing into like the whole spectacle of it. They want to make a big blockbuster type TV season, and so a lot of that
No matter
means they're just trying to give fans the moments they want instead of like actually focusing on
no matter how
telling
much
a great story, which is what the first 6 seasons were.
no matter how much I don't want to admit it, I think the second they got off George R.R. Martin's books, like, I mean, they've talked to him, but once they got off like having all of the content, I think it really lessened the show. I think
It's dipped.
they are much more scared to make bigger risks,
It's
to take
simpler.
bigger risks.
It's a simpler show.
Like, has it sped up because basically George gave him like an outline instead of like these
Yes.
books that go
Yeah.
on for 700
Yeah.
pages?
Yeah,
Yeah.
George R. R. Martin has said that if he had completed the 2 books
Yeah.
he has left, it would be 5 more seasons instead of like the 3.
It would have been
2
10.
that
It would have
they
been a
had.
10-season show, which honestly probably would have been the greatest show of all time. But I'm really worried at how the show ends.
He's never gonna finish these books, Brian. This man is an obese 71-year-old man.
What sucks
and
is,
he has
like,
2 1,000-page books left to write.
By the time the books come out, like, I'm gonna be so far away from Game of Thrones, I probably won't even bother to see how he ended them. But like, I'm really interested in what he does.
I'm telling you right now, I know it's like the typical thing. I mean, the books are just. It's really the first 3 books are pretty much the exact same as the first 4 seasons, so there's not much of a difference there. But books 4 and 5 are pretty much has like incorporations of season 5 and a little bit of season 6 in it. They are just so much better.
Have you read them?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they are. I mean, I know that's like the typical. Oh, the books are so much better.
Yeah.
Like, I view them as separate. Like, at least, especially these days, because I don't see the books going like this at all. But apparently, they're following a general outline. But the show's made some decisions that are pretty disappointing, like from a narrative perspective, just in the name of just being a simple fan-pleasing show, which it is the past couple of years.
And the thing is that's sad is like it is true, but it's also not like there's moments where you see the old Game of Thrones still in there. Like, I mean, now that this episode was fine, it ruins the episode before it, which was fantastic. Like, all about character moments is what the show is, but then this episode, they built up all these character moments and didn't deliver anything on them. They set up all these people as like, this is the night before we die. This is the night before, like, all like the big characters. This could be our last night, and they don't capitalize on any of that.
A couple more characters definitely I thought needed to die. Like Grey Worm and Brienne would have been enough for me to be like, okay, you guys killed off a lot of people.
John and Danny had this huge conversation, and it affected the battle in no way.
Well,
so
see, I didn't expect that.
But why the fuck did they have it then?
Well, because I'm assuming that's going to be set up the next 3 episodes.
But that's what I mean is why'd they put it there? Just put it after the battle.
Just make it tense before they start the battle. I don't know.
Like, that felt like a very TV thing. Like, we're ending the episode on this because it in no way affected episode 3. And I'm very upset. I think they're going to resolve it in episode 4 really quickly. I don't think it's going to be a big issue. I think they're going to make up and be fine with it.
All right. Well, that was a lot of negative. If you want to talk about positives of the episode, because there are definitely, don't get me wrong, overall, I thought it was very good. Like, a lot of great moments. I thought the Night King, who's then, like, even though he was dispatched at the end of the episode, and that's a little disappointing in a way, I guess, the moments he had in the episode were awesome.
The badass moment where John is running to get, because their whole goal is we have to kill the Night King, so because he controls all the army. If he dies, they all die. So Jon Snow's like hustling, and the Night King just looks at him, lifts his arm, and raises all the dead around him.
Yeah, to paint the picture for you, Brian, this is an empty battlefield, or not empty, but the only 2 alive people left are Jon Snow and the Night King at where they are currently. The Night King with his dragon has recently killed Jon Snow's dragon, so Jon Snow is on
Jon
foot.
Snow's dragon's not dead.
Jon Snow has a dragon?
Looked very dead.
Not dead.
Looked very dead.
Jon Snow has a
How
dragon?
do you...
Google. Not Google. I think it was in the preview. That's what someone said.
Really?
I didn't watch the
Snow have a
preview, but I
dragon?
heard that. Jon is a dragon, yes.
He started riding one of Daenerys' 3 dragons.
Does
So it's not like he got his own, it's just he started riding one of hers.
It's kind of his own now, though.
Yeah. It's named after his father.
Yeah.
He named it?
No,
it had a name.
Daenerys named it before she knew that was Jon's father.
Yeah.
Before Jon even knew that was his father. Yeah, I know, Brian. It's
No,
the lore.
It's
the lore.
The
Yeah.
lore.
So, it's empty battlefield, dark. Jon sees the Night King walking towards the Winterfell gates, about to walk in. Jon's like limping at first, starts running faster. Bodies everywhere. So the Night King hears Jon coming, slowly turns around and lifts his arms. every single dead body in the battlefield starts to get up and like turn towards John. So John's cut off before he can even get there. It is interesting. Again, I guess another little flaw is a lot of times these zombies are like sprint, World War Z type zombies. But when it's convenient for the plot, they become the slow-moving zombies, which is what they were in this moment. And it was still cool because Jon Snow's like mowing them down or whatever. But it's like, okay, it's not really consistent.
My thing to like justify that is I just think like the Night King kind of decides whether they want to go fast or not. And he's like, that's fine. They just get up.
Yeah.
They can be slow today.
Yeah,
You guys can take it easy today.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another moment where Daenerys just kind of lowers her dragon towards the Night King and like hits the big old Dracarys, which is Valyrian for like breathe fire or whatever. Dragon lights up the Night King, like just engulfed in flames. Like you can't see anything, just fire. Fire dissipates after a few seconds, and he's just standing there, smiling at her.
The best part about this scene is though, then because her dragon is now on the ground, all the dead jump onto her dragon and start like biting and destroying the dragon, and the dragon flies off, and it is just have all these zombies hanging off of it. Really cool scene.
I was terrified for the dragon. I thought we were gonna lose him.
I thought dragons weren't shit anymore because the Night King just one-shotted one.
Yeah, here's the thing with that.
But
the whole line of White Walkers with the insta-kill dragon spears that was shown at the end of last episode, they must have been like, you know what? Let's just not kill our dragons anymore. So there was one spear throw,
and he missed.
It's
and
like a whole line of them had spears.
got one spear.
A whole line of them had spears.
Well, that's the other thing is there's one Night King, and I would call them the Night Lieutenants. The Night
They're just White
Lieutenants
Walkers.
don't do anything. They just stay on their horse and follow the Night King. They don't do jack shit.
I mean, Jon Snow killed one a few seasons ago. That was pretty cool. I was hoping for another moment like that, like an actual sword fight with one. There really wasn't. The Night King was killed by a sneak attack, and it was a cool little dagger drop move that Arya had.
I love Arya, so she does this. She jumps to kill the Night King. The Night King turns around, grabs her by the throat and the arm that she was holding the dagger. She drops the dagger to her other hand and stabs him in the stomach.
Okay, yeah,
it's a move made famous by Rey in Last Jedi.
Just from what I've seen on Twitter, like I'm getting like pieces of how the dagger drop worked because people. I'm just thinking, I'm like, man, it must have been a really cool knife thing.
I mean, left arm, holding dagger, drops dagger, grabs the right arm.
I thought they were going to kill her. I genuinely did. That for those 2 seconds, it's like, oh, damn.
I was like, oh, because here I am.
Gone.
Yeah, you got the Night King walking towards Bran, who's a lot of people are like, oh, Bran's the GOAT, he orchestrated this whole thing. Bran was fucking bait for the Night King, Brian. People are like, oh, he's the hero. It's like, is the worm the MVP when you catch a fish? No. Bran sat there and just looked at the Night King, and I'm like, what's gonna happen if he gets? It's like, ow, like that's how he talks. He's a robot, emotionless robot, and he's annoying. He's the worst. That's what I wanted to get.
This is what makes the episode so disappointing. Is every time we go with something positive, it just makes me think of something negative. Bran, this is my honestly top 3 complaints. I don't know how I forgot about this. What was the point of him?
Bran sucks. Bran sucks. Written terribly, directed terribly, acted terribly. He's terrible.
I made fun of him and tell everyone I hate him because I don't like the way they made his character. But it made sense if they were building to something. He literally just sits like he has no purpose and he's done now. So this character has been basically relevant the whole time.
I was kind of hoping the Night King was going to cut his head off.
I was hoping he'd kill him and then
I would have cheered. I would have cheered.
I would have too.
Been like, yes, get that terrible character out of the show. Please do not give him any more minutes of screen time.
I hope he doesn't have anything important to do. I feel bad.
What was he doing the whole episode? He went into his ravens or whatever, and they flew away during the battle, and he's just sitting there looking at the battle, not really giving any advice to anyone, just terribly written, stupid,
Bran's
pointless.
Superpower, let's call it superpower, he's a warg, which means he can just he can put his eyes into other things, so he can see, control them. So everyone was like, oh, he's going to warg into a dragon. Be super cool. That's his, the name of the people who can go into other animals.
Okay, just an aside, is this... In every situation I've ever seen the word warg, it's always just big fantasy dog. Is that related to this at all?
The big fantasy dog is the direwolf.
Okay,
kind of.
But also, I feel like I've heard direwolves were real prehistoric animals too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he works into ravens, and then he flies off into the forest, and that's all we get of
I
it.
saw a meme of him
And-
like, I have to go now, and he like gets into his ravens, and then he's like, the ravens are in the Endgame theater.
It's
catching
really,
the showtime.
That's bad. Arya, that's my favorite part of the episode. She's the best part of the episode because it is her arc. Like, the whole episode kind of revolves around her in a way.
I did, if not Jon Snow, I'm glad she would be my other choice. Jon Snow, meanwhile, squares up to a dragon, like the ice dragon. It's literally 1v1. The dragon's like blowing fire. He keeps jumping behind things.
He does
Ice
the most-
dragon breathes fire.
Yeah, it's like blowing fire.
Jon Snow does the most video game shit I've ever seen. Dragon shoots fire, he ducks cover. Then he goes around another cover. Then he moves forward and gets another. It's pretty video gamey.
And then finally he realizes he's like trapped, so he like stands up and screams at it. Now the theory I've heard is that apparently twice during that scene and when he stands up, for perspective, Brian, he was trying to get to where the Night King was, where Arya ended up killing the Night King, but the dragon was blocking it. The theory that is going around is he was distracting the dragon because he saw Arya and wanted apparently someone said he yelled "go" when he stands up like to the dragon or whatever. Like he stands up from behind his cover, looks at the dragon dead in the eye, just like screams at it, about to just get lit up with blue flames.
Here's the thing. You know, moment I was ready for him to stand there, get lit up, and be alive.
What? Because he's a Targaryen.
Yeah.
See, now here's the
That
flaw
would've
with
been-
that. Everyone says that, and that would be awesome. Burns his hand in season 1.
There we
Season
go.
1, he grabbed a hot, I don't know, he grabbed something that was over a fire and burnt his hand. He has
Guess
to wear
I-
gloves.
See,
the rest of the
thank you
season.
for that, because I didn't know that. And that would have people definitely would have like railed that moment then. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Glad that didn't happen.
The ice dragon should not blue fire hotter than regular fire. And if the ice dragon's ice, it shouldn't be breathing fire that's hotter than regular dragons.
I mean,
I don't know
I'm
the
good.
lore of fire.
when I say ice dragon, I just mean his color dissipated when the Night King resurrected him.
Okay, so it's just a dragon.
It's a dragon. It's not like made of ice.
Okay.
It's just a reanimated.
dead
dragon.
Okay,
That's-
it's not gonna kill me.
That's
That's
lost
really
its
honestly all I
color.
have to say about the episode.
Yeah.
Overall, very cool, impressive for a TV show. I'm hoping that Game of Thrones isn't like scared to be unpredictable going forward, but I feel like we're on a pretty predictable path.
Yeah.
Which is disappointing. It'll still be fun to watch because there's really been nothing like this to the scale for TV. So I'll enjoy it for what it is. It's just, again, like we discussed a few weeks ago, it's probably not what it could be.
I think one thing that hurts my viewing experience is when I watched everything before this, including season 7, I watched it all in a row without, like, I couldn't read people theorizing about the plot, and I didn't have any time to talk to anyone about it. So, like, watching all the way through, like, I'm sure if I had all of season 8 available to me, watching 3, and then let's say 4 and 5 are really good, 3 wouldn't have looked near as bad if I watched 4 and 5 right after it. But because I have a week to sit on it, just kind of sucks.
4 looks like another transition. Episode 4, like from the next week on Game of Thrones, it looks like another transition episode to like a battle in episode 5. Because it's like when Emilia Clarke, the actress who plays Daenerys, is like, oh, episode 5 is even bigger. It's get a big TV for it or whatever. So, I mean,
see.
it just seems like another quick transition episode. And then I don't know what the finale would be.
She recommends we get a new TV. Do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, we're doing recommendations. No, I don't. I don't, but you must. I know you do.
I do. I started season 2 of Barry this week. Fantastic show. Bill Hader is by far and away the best part of that show. Not that everyone else is great, but he is amazing. Show is kind of funny. It's a drama. Don't expect you're getting a Bill Hader comedy. This show is dark, depressing. I don't know if hard to watch, but it's a lot. But it's fantastically written, fantastically acted. Give it a watch.
I guess my recommendation would be the show Veep, which I have recently almost caught all the way up on. I've finished season 6, so season 7 is one that's in progress right now. And it's just a very well-written and well-acted comedy. It's just consistently sharp and funny.
Okay, I know my recommendation. E23, you can catch it on Vimeo or wherever the fuck. You can look up specific clips of us on YouTube. I think those are pretty good.
I love those, Brian.
Yeah,
Cherished
Jake,
memories.
Yeah, Jake, you did the music thing.
I did do the music thing.
which, you know, I suggested that one, but you did actually kind of go through that list on a future episode of the Content Cube.
That is true.
So don't watch that one, it's spoilers. But we do all kinds of stuff on A23. So I'm looking at a calendar. When's our last, when are you guys done with school?
I am going back to St. Louis a week from today, and then I come back on a Tuesday just for my one final, and then I'm going back home.
You have one final?
I have one final test.
Lucky.
So I got two.
I got 3.
I have a performance for ASL that I have to do. I have to perform.
Oh, I think I saw someone on Twitter did like the Moana song. She was like,
Yeah, that's ASL 3. You do like musical stuff. I'm doing "Don't Go Breaking My Heart" with Elton John and Kiki D. It's a duet.
It's a banger.
It's a
Absolute
real banger. So how many more episodes are we gonna record like this?
I'd say there's a max of 2, a minimum of 1.
Yeah.
Don't expect too much more of us.
Yeah, so we'll know by next week. But we do have summer plans. We've been pre-recording stuff. Gonna pre-record some other stuff, so there will be stuff going up over the summer.
Unfortunately, Brian lives in California,
Yeah,
so he cannot record any Content Cube with Jake and I, who live in the best city in the Union, St. Louis,
I live in St. Charles.
which is pretty much around St. Louis County.
Yeah, I might come back here and there. I'm kind of looking into where I'm going to live next year, so I might come back earlier. But those are kind of our plans. There's nothing happening of note the next couple weeks, so we're going to do a book club thing this week. We're going to all watch Annihilation.
It's a movie. Don't read the book.
Don't read the
Clubs
book.
with movies.
Yeah, we're gonna watch
movie club.
We're gonna watch Annihilation and talk about it next week.
I prefer the term book club with movies, though. I like that.
So we did bring up the Mario Brothers movie.
We're not going to watch that one.
Okay, so we're
Let's
gonna
shut that thought down
Annihilation.
right now.
Watch
Annihilation, the film.
Some would say a spirit sequel to Super Mario Brothers.
If you watch Annihilation and you have thoughts, questions, DM any 3 of us.
Or comment on this YouTube channel.
Yeah, and we will talk about them on the show.
We sure love our fans.
We
Brian.
love our fans.
We do.
Love it when you guys engage.
We got like 40 DM questions this week. We just didn't have time. Sorry, this was such a jam-packed episode. We had
Yeah,
time
oh
to
my
read them.
god. The last upload, the first upload of the last episode was bullshit. I fucked it up. It's fixed by now. It should be up. Full length, not ruined. And that's it, I think. That it, guys?
That's all I got.
That's all I got. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great week, because I won't talk to you until next week. Be kind to everyone you meet, as long as they're decent people.
If they're not decent people, you choose.
Throw an egg at them or something. Have a great day, everyone. I love each and every one of you. Peace out. It's been a Content Cube.